What's up, YouTube peeps and barbecue freaks? Thank you guys for joining me today. Today's video is going to be a pork butt that we're going to do hot and fast. Now, I never cook hot and fast. I'm a low and slow guy. But we're going to do this one hot and fast. A couple of reasons. One, I want to try it out. Two, I'm just plain short on time today. So we're going to go hot and fast on this. I'm going to try to get my Weber Smoky Mountain up to about 325, above 300 for sure. We're going to take I got a 9-pound pork butt that I'm going to trim up just a little bit. We're going to get it seasoned, and I'm not sure, I'm debating if I want to go with Heaven Made Products It's Incredible, which is a great rub, my absolute favorite, or the Heaven Made Products Texas Best Rib Rub, which is also a great rub. This is absolutely phenomenal on pork. I love it. So I'm going to decide between those two which one I want to go with. I don't know just yet, quite honestly. We're going to find out together when I do decide. Also, this company, Sweet Heat Barbecue Sauce, Steamin Steve's Sweet Heat Barbecue Sauce, reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested in trying some of their sauces. They sent me the original, a mild and a hot. I told them I'd give it a try. Never tried it before, so we're going to try that. I'll let you guys know what I think. I'll leave links below to where you can get some if you're wanting to. But again, I have no idea if it's any good or not, and we're gonna find out together at the end. So that's part of the reason for doing this video also. So anyway, let's get this pork butt trimmed up again. We're gonna smoke it on the Weber Smoky Mountain, my 18-inch Weber Smoky Mountain, and this should be fun. I absolutely love me some pork butt. It's one of my favorites. Anyway, let's get started. All right, so what I have here is this pork butt that's about this is right at 9 pounds. And I'm going to do very little trimming. There are some spots here that I'm going to trim right above this money muscle. Get some of that fat off. And then on this horn, you'll see there's this fat here that when you start slicing away or trimming off, this top part of the meat will pull back. And you expose that horn, you get some rub around that horn. But I'm just going to come right on top of this meat and cut down just so I expose that horn a little bit. I'm not necessarily looking to expose the horn, but this fat right here, see all this fat? That is horrible. That's no good. It's not going to render anything. So I like to trim that off. And in doing that, it just automatically exposes a horn. So that's a plus. Just a little bit more here. For a home cook, like I said, I'm not really trying to expose this horn, but it just kind of does it on its own once I trim away that fat. And that's all I'm going to do to this side, to the meat side. We're going to flip it over. Now, I absolutely love this fat cap. A lot of people don't. I do. I leave most of it on. There are some parts that are a little hard that I will trim off. But I'm not gonna take a lot of this fat cap off. I love when that bark sets on that fat, and I shred everything apart to mix it in with the meat. Man, that's some good stuff. I'm just really going like really lightly or real thin over this fat cap. But that is pretty much it. There's a little bit here that I want to get off. This is kind of thick, so I want to trim it off a little bit. Uh-oh. Went a little too low there. I don't want to do that. I don't want to expose that meat. I want that fat cap to stay on there, protect that meat, and build a nice bark. All right, that's it. I'm not gonna do any more. So I got the pork butt trimmed up. That's about all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get the injection ready, and I'll show you how I make my pork injection. So first I start with this is an 8-ounce bottle of Italian dressing that we're gonna use. And what I'm doing is I wanna separate the juice from all the seasonings inside, the garlic and all the goodness that they add to this. So you want to get this, we want to strain this out. This is my absolute favorite pork injection. This is my secret pork injection that I'm sharing. Do that. Strain all the dressing out of here, all the liquid. And we're going to save this because we're going to use all of this. So get all that out. And then we're going to take all this goodness, all the seasoning, just put it in a separate bowl, just put it aside. Still have a little bit more we got to strain out. So 8 ounces. This 8-ounce bottle is perfect size for one pork butt. So we're also going to add some apple juice to this. So get all that strained out, and again, just set this stuff aside. So we have the liquid here, and then we have all the seasoning here. To this, we're going to add some apple juice. All right, so to this, I'm just trying to, I'm going to eyeball it, but it's equal parts apple juice to equal parts of the dressing. Just give that a good stir. Now, I told you guys that I'm trying to decide which seasoning I want to use. If I want to use the It's Incredible or the Texas Best Rib Rub, both from Heaven Made Products. And you know what? I'm going to use both. So, what I'm going to do is, oh, here it is. I'm going to take some of my It's Incredible rub, and that's the brisket. Let me grab, where'd I put it? Let me grab the rib rub. All right, so I got the It's Incredible. I'm just gonna sprinkle some of that in here. I'm just eyeballing it. And we're gonna take some of this Texas Best Rib Rub from Heaven Made Products. That's such a good rub. Both of these are great rubs. And just kind of eyeballing that and some of that. Basically a 50-50 mix of both. We're gonna get this mixed up really good, and then we're going to take this and inject it into that pork butt. This is going to add so much flavor to the inside of the pork butt, and then we're going to come back to the seasoning. I'll show you what we'll use this for on the outside. So mix this up. Let's get that pork butt back over here and get it injected. So we got the pork butt here, we've got the injection here, and we're just going to start injecting, you know. There are certain points I like to focus on, but like the horn, the money muscle, where the tubes are at. But just make sure that you get it injected really, really good. Add as much flavor as you can into this pork butt. It already has a lot of fat that's going to provide a lot of flavor, but I'm telling you, man, this Italian dressing, seasoning is some good stuff, you guys. So I'm just going to inject this until I get all of this liquid injected. Again, make sure you focus on the money muscle. And right behind that are going to be some tubes underneath here. I'll flip it over and inject it from the other side as well. So let me get this injected and I'll pick back up once I'm done. All right, so we got this pork butt injected. I'm going to set it aside. And then we're going to start on this paste for the outside. So we're taking all the seasoning that we pulled out of the dressing to that. You can use honey mustard or regular mustard. I just happen to have regular mustard on me, so I'm going to go with that. Just going to add some of this right in here. And then I'm going to come back and just add a little bit of apple juice just to kind of thin it out a little bit. Give this a mix. And I'm going to add some coarse black pepper. Just kind of eyeballing it, and a little bit of kosher salt. Give this a good mix. And this is going to be the paste for the outside of our pork butt. This is going to be the binder that we use for our rub. God, this thing's got so much flavor. Oh man, that's so good. Yeah, buddy. So that's what it looks like. Here, and you can see the consistency. I mean, it's not too thick, but it's not too runny either. So we're going to take this and cover our pork butt with it. So let's start with the fat cap side. Just take some of this and just pour it right over the top. You know, normally I like to cook this fat cap up, so I would probably season this side last. But the way that I'm going to cook it today, I'm going to go fat cap down. So I'm going to season it fat cap down first. Or I'm going to season the fat cap side first. So we got that. So that's our binder to that. Get a little bit more over here. I want to make sure I get these sides as well. So to that, I'm going to hit it with the It's Incredible from Heaven Made Products. I think the It's Incredible by itself would be perfect. Either one of these rubs would be perfect, and that's why I couldn't decide which one to go with, and I'm just going to do both. Why not? All right. This is going to give us some great flavor. The rib rub. It's going to give us some nice color. Do that here. So this is Texas Best Rib Rub. You can find both of these rubs. I'll leave a link below, but you can find them both at heavenmadeproducts.com. Again, I'll leave a link below, and these are rubs that I absolutely love. All of the Texas Best, all of the rubs from Heaven Made Products, the Texas Best Brisket Rub, the Texas Best Beef Rub, the It's Incredible. I mean, those are all some of my favorite rubs, without a doubt. You can't go wrong with them. But Michael Petrie over at Heaven Made Products also has a line of a number of different rubs that are all really good. And what I like about these is that they're low in sodium. So, you know, if you're someone who has to watch your sodium intake, these are perfect for you. And they do not, Mike does not sacrifice flavor with these rubs being low in sodium. That I guarantee you. So. Got that. I'm going to get it flipped over. And then just pour the rest of this liquid on top. This mustard paste. That's our binder. Get the It's Incredible. And the the Texas best rib rub. We're gonna let this sit. We're gonna get the Weber Smoky Mountain fired up. Again, I'm gonna cook this hot and fast. So I'll show you how I set that up. I normally do not cook hot and fast at all. I'm short on time today, so I wanna get this cook in. And we're gonna see how it turns out. So we'll let this set. And then I'm gonna head outside, show you how I set up the Weber Smoky Mountain, and then we'll get this cooking. So I have my 18-inch Weber Smoky Mountain. Take some cherry wood, kind of place on the bottom. I'm running out of wood, so I've got like scraps left, so I'm gonna have to use quite a few. But if you have the big chunks, you know, two chunks would work. These are a bunch of little pieces, so that's why you see me add in so many. Do that. I'm using Kingsford. Put that right on top. So I got some charcoal in the charcoal basket. We got it lit. We're gonna let this catch. Once it catches, we'll dump it onto the coals down to the bottom of the Weber Smoky Mountain. I got my vents, all three vents at the bottom, completely wide open. I will have the top vent completely wide open. I want this to get up above 300, so closer to 325 maybe. And hopefully I can achieve that with all the vents open. So once this catches, we'll dump it in, get the pork butt on, and get this the rest of this cook underway. Coals are ready. I just dumped them on top. I'm going to take the body and get it right on top, and then we'll get this pork butt on. All right, the pork butt is on. Again, I do not have the water pan in there, as you can see. That's why I'm doing this fat cap down. I need that fat to protect the pork butt. So we'll get the lid on, and then my guess is that we're going to let this go for 2 hours. Hopefully that bark should be set by then, and then we'll wrap it up and finish it off. So again, I got the top vent wide open, the bottom vents, all three completely wide open, and we want it to get up to right around, you know, anywhere past 300 I'll be okay with. So get the lid back on, let it come back up to temp, and then you know, I'm going to spritz at the hour mark. I'm just going to use straight apple juice. So I'll show you what it looks like in 1 hour. All right, you guys, we are an hour in. As you can see, the temp is sitting right at around 320, which is good. So we're gonna give it a spritz. I've got here, it's actually a 50-50 mix of apple juice and apple cider vinegar. So let's get this lid off and give it a spritz. As you can see, the bark is starting to set an hour in, so happy with that. Spritz it all over, and at this point, I'm gonna spritz it about every 10-15 minutes. So I won't show it all just to save time, but just know that that's what I'm gonna do. So that's that. We'll get the lid on, and then we'll let it go for another hour. Again, I'll be spritzing about every 10-15 minutes, and then at the 2 hour mark, we'll see what it looks like. It should be ready to wrap. And then as you can see, we're still sitting at about 220, 225. I'm sorry, 320 to 325. So that's perfect. We're gonna take a look at this. I have spritzed it a couple of times, but let's take a look at this pork butt. This is what we're looking like 2 hours in. We're gonna, before I spritz it, I just wanna test this bark. Yeah, it's not quite set just yet. It needs to go a little bit longer, maybe another 30 minutes. But we're gonna spritz it. We're getting good color here. And then probably another 30 to 45 minutes, I'll pull it and wrap it. But there was some part of the bark that was still kind of soft, like right here. So that tells me the bark hasn't set just yet. Again, the bottom vents are, all three bottom vents are completely wide open. So we'll get the lid back on and check back in about 30 to 45 minutes, and at that point it should be ready to wrap. I mean, I'm seeing some signs here of it, you know, getting to that point, so it's almost there. All right, you guys, so this pork butt has been smoking for about 2.5 hours, and it's getting ready to wrap. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some brown sugar, lay it underneath here. I'm going to add some butter or some parquet, make a nice little base, and I'm going to add a little bit of honey. So you saw the sauce that I was going to use, that I mentioned about using in this Steamin' Steve's semi-sweet or sweet heat barbecue sauce. I did taste test this, and it's actually pretty good. However, I think combining a little bit of the hot Steamin' Steve's sweet heat barbecue sauce, combining these two together is actually going to be a good idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to take some of the original, lay that down, come back with some of the hot, and just kind of mix it up. This sauce, you know what, tasting it right out of the bottle, it's actually really good. I'm actually kind of digging the sauce, quite honestly. I think on ribs it's going to be phenomenal. So anyway, I got this down. I'm going to grab the pork butt, bring it inside. We're going to lay it down, and then I'm going to repeat the process on top. So let me grab the pork butt really quick, and I'll pick back up in just a second. All right, so I got the pork butt, got it on here. I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar on top. And then just kind of repeat the process. I'm going to take some butter or some parquet right on top, and then a little bit of honey. Then we're going to top it with that barbecue sauce. Again, this is the Steamin' Steve's sweet heat barbecue sauce. A little bit of that, and then just a 50-50 mix of their regular or the original and their hot. I think this is going to add this heat is going to add just a little bit of bite that I like. So that should be it. There's still going to be some fat that should render out of this pork butt, but we're going to get it wrapped up, get it back on the smoker, and let it go for probably another 2 hours, and it should be done. So right now we're sitting at about 2.5 hours. So another 2 hours. I'm hoping that this will be done by then. So I will pick back up. Once I pull this off of the Weber Smoky Mountain. All right, you guys, we're gonna probe it. Reading 206, 207. It's going in pretty easy. 205. We're gonna check this money muscle. 207, 208. This thing is done. So I'm gonna let it rest. I'm gonna let it vent like this with the foil open for a few, and then we'll let it cool down, and then we'll shred it up and give it a taste. All right, so I got the pork butt pulled. So I have a pile here of pulled pork, and it's sitting in all the juices that I wrapped it in. So I didn't take the pork butt out of the wrap that I had it in. So it's sitting in that brown sugar, butter, honey mixture, along with the fat and the barbecue sauce that you saw me wrap it with. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take some of this Steamin' Steve's original barbecue sauce, and I'm going to add some of that on top. And I am going to hit it. I wasn't going to do this, but I am going to hit it with a little bit of the hot, just to add just a tad of heat. And we'll just do that there, just a little bit. And then I'm going to come back and dust it with the Texas Best Rib Rub from It's Incredible. I mean, from Heaven Made Products. Give that a good dusting. And then we're just going to mix it all up. It's still really hot, so I'm wearing my glove, but just going to give it a mix. I'm going to come back a little more of that Texas Best Rib Rub from Heaven Made Products. Dust it with that. That is some good stuff, you guys, I'm telling you. So that's it. Now, I don't have any plans to like try this in a sandwich or anything like that. So I'm just gonna take, you know, just a pinch of this, and we're gonna give it a taste and see what it tastes like. I will probably use this, well, I'm definitely going to use this pulled pork in future recipes. So it actually may be a recipe you see before you see this one. We'll see. But let's give this pulled pork a taste. We're gonna give this sauce a taste and see how it works out with this Texas Best Rib Rub from Heaven Made Products. Hey guys, we're gonna try this pulled pork and see what it tastes like. The missus just got home, so I'm gonna let her try it too. But I'm gonna try it first. So it's sitting again, this pulled pork has been sitting in that juice, the brown sugar, honey, butter, and then just the fat that continue to render it out along with the sauce. We're gonna give it a shot right here. I'll tell you what, this Steamin' Steve's Sweet Heat Barbecue Sauce, the original. I'm actually kind of digging it. Baby, come get us a shot. I like the taste. It's sweet, and it's not too thick. It's not too thin. I like it. My wife's about to give it a taste test off camera here. So I use the It's Incredible and the Texas Best Rib Rub as the rub, and then I use this new sauce that this company sent me. But it's got a little kick because I put that hot. So I just mix in a little bit of hot with that. But what do you think?
It's really good. I like the sweet.
Yeah, that sauce is sweet. I like the sweetness, honestly.
I like the seasonings. And yeah, it's just got that little kick.
Yeah, I can definitely see myself using the hot on some ribs, which I really am looking forward to trying. You like it?
That's really good. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, so, of course, the rubs, without a doubt, I knew were going to be good. I use them all the time. They're my favorites. Again, I will leave a link below to the Heaven Made Products, where you can get some of these rubs if you want. I'm telling you that It's Incredible, without a doubt, is our absolute favorite. But the sauce, now, I will say that the sauce, I looked it up online, and I'm going to do a little more research on this, but what I saw early on is that for the price, it is a little pricey. I think for one bottle it was $9. That's not counting shipping. When you compare it to a sauce that you could pick up at your grocery store, it's probably double the cost, quite honestly. However, that's not a fair comparison because, let's say, like in my area, my local HEB, they can afford to buy in bulk. So, and they can spread the cost out amongst other items. So, There really isn't a fair comparison. If you compare it to some of the other sauces you can find online, let's say from Kosmos Q, or some other website, it's almost around the same price. I still think at $9 a bottle, it's a little high. It's a good sauce. I don't know if I would spend $9 a bottle, not counting shipping, for it. But I like the sauce. I really, really do like the sauce. I love the sweetness to it. And it just has a really good flavor. I like the heat from the hot one. I'm really looking forward to trying it on some ribs. Again, I will leave a link below to where you can order some of this if you want. Again, I don't get a kickback or anything. They just sent it to me and asked me if I would try it. I think the sauce is good. I think the price could be a little lower, quite honestly. That's just my opinion. But I'm going to use some of this pulled pork for future recipes or for other recipes. It's really good. The pulled pork is actually really good, nice and sweet, which I like, with just a tad of heat. To me, it's perfect. Again, the sauces are good, but you decide if you want to spend the price for that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys next time. Take care.